Hi everyone, it's Krista and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're not new, hi again. This is my channel. I love to do DIYs on a budget, Dollar Tree DIYs, thrift flips, farmhouse, rustic wreaths, and seasonal decor. So if you like what you see here, you know what to do. Hit that red subscribe button. Also leave me a comment. I love to hear what you guys think. And give me a thumbs up. That helps my channel. You can also follow me over on Instagram, Pinterest, and TikTok. And I also have a wreath shop. It's called Krista's Wreath Designs. It is an Etsy shop. I will have all those links in the description box down below. Today is What Would You Make? And it's hosted by OK at Home DIY, Connie's Creative Creations, and our co-host is Happiness Created. More about that in a minute, but first, DIY number 1. So the first DIY, I'm going with neutral Valentine's colors because I've been doing a few videos with all different types of Valentine decor, and this one I'm going to be using a wooden heart, lots of ribbon that you just saw there, these solo wood flowers, which I have not used in a very long time, and I like them a lot, so I will have their link down below too so you can check them out. And that heart, and then also that scrapbook paper there from Hobby Lobby. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trace out the heart on the back of the scrapbook paper with my pencil, and then I'm going to cut that out, and then I'm going to grab some Mod Podge, and I am going to Mod Podge that down onto the heart. So I wanted to go neutral because I've been doing a lot of pinks, reds, you know, all the usual typical Valentine colors. So I thought this would be a nice little switch. And I gave it a little bit of a vintage rustic look as well. And this is my little trick with Mod Podge. I just take parchment paper, put it on top, and then I use my little iron and it smooths it out and doesn't make it have any bubbles. So now what I did is I took this Distress ink that you can also purchase at Hobby Lobby in their scrapbooking section or where their ink pads are, and this little spongy tool. And what you do is it kind of like gives it a little vintage vibe to the ends of the paper and the wood, and I love that look. So that's what I was going for here, kind of a vintage rustic Valentine, only keeping it neutral. And the Distress Oxide that I use is actually called Vintage. So there you go. And you just kind of rub it on the edges there, and it looks really neat. So then what I did is I took a bunch of ribbon that I have in my stash. You can use any ribbon you like, but I used these because they were neutral, of course. And all I did was take them and fold them kind of like in half, and then I cut the excess off, except for 2 of the ribbons that I want to keep long because I'm going to make a long, really pretty, different types of ribbon hanging down from the bottom portion of the heart. So that is what I am doing here. So the burlap ribbon, I do have a link in my Amazon shop for that ribbon if you are interested. It is really cool ribbon. I love it, and you get a whole bunch of it at a really cheap price. So if you want to check that out, it's in my Amazon shop. Then what I did is after I looped those ones that I wanted to have looped to kind of look like a bow, I just like looped them together, and then I cut off the excess except for the 2 that I wanted to keep long. And then what I did is I opened it up, and I zip tied them together, all together. Then I took some more ribbon. This is some more of that burlap ribbon. These are the different kinds that you get in the package, which, like I said, is so pretty. Then I took some lace ribbon as well that I had in my stash, and I cut those, some Dollar Tree ribbon, burlap ribbon that I had, and I just cut a whole bunch of different kinds. I wanted this to look really vintage, but, you know, like I said, sort of like a neutral color. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bunch these ribbons together that I just cut into strips, and I am going to zip tie those together on the end as well. And then we're going to glue them all down. So I just kept going, and now I'm going to take another little tiny zip tie and just zip tie them all together. And then cut the excess zip tie off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure they're all even on the bottom and, you know, cut them down to size. And then I'm just going to glue that down to the bottom and then glue the bow portion that I made on the top. You can make any bow that you want, but I like this kind of bow for this type of look, so this is what I went for. And then I just made sure it was glued down, puffed up my little loops, and there it is. Isn't that pretty? I love it. So elegant. Then I'm taking the solo wood flowers and I am going to start making them cascade up the side of the heart. But first I put one on the bottom there where you can't see where I glued it all down, and then on the top. And then I'm just going to take just random ones that I have in this bunch here. These are a neutral color bunch that I bought off of their website. And then I just started stacking them up the side of my pretty little heart. And I love the way this turned out, you guys. I made one of these last year, not quite exactly the same, but similar. And I really love the way that one turned out. So I figured, let's make another one. And these you could kind of keep up all the time. You don't, because they're neutral, you don't have to take them down after Valentine's Day. And that's what I like about, doing this type of Valentine decor. And then there they are. Isn't that pretty? I love the way this turned out, you guys. This might be my favorite one, I think. And I'm just trying to show you guys what it looks like. And then next thing I decided to do is I was going to loop some ribbon through the holes, but then I decided I wanted to use this burlap ribbon on the top. And then I found these little, you could get these at Hobby Lobby, though I know they have them in a package where the jewelry is, I think. But they have these little roses, and they're like a neutral, like ivory color, and they're enamel pieces, like acrylic kind of. And I just put those on top of my ribbon, glued them down, and it just gave it more of a little bit touch to it with that ribbon hanging. And I just think it looked really, really pretty. And then I took some of the pearls from the Dollar Tree and I decided to go up the sides. And I just kind of put them here and there wherever I wanted a little pearl to be. So you just kind of put them where you want, make it look unique and, to your tasting. And that's what I did. And I think the pearls gave it an extra little touch and a little bit more texture, which I love all different kinds of textures. And yeah. And I know I keep saying sorry about that, guys. I don't know what's going on with me tonight. I'm so tired. This is like my fourth video that I've been recording today. So I apologize. I'm a little tired. And there it is, you guys. So you guys got to let me know what you think down in the comment section below. So yes, this is all about what would you make. So we're using wood from the Dollar Tree, mostly from the Dollar Tree, to make different crafts. And these are the host and the co-host. Their channels will be listed down below, and the playlist with everyone who is participating. So make sure you go check everyone out. So now I'm taking one of these little sticks with a heart on it from the Dollar Tree that's made of wood. And then I'm also using that little pail that you saw there. And I'm going to be using this antique wax by Waverly to paint the entire stick and the top portion of the heart as well. Even though I'm going to be using scrapbook paper to cover this, I still wanted to do the back and the sides of the heart. So next, I'm going to take the scrapbook paper that I had in my stash for a long time, you guys, but it looks Valentine's to me, and it looks really neutral, and I liked it, so, and vintage too, so. I cut that out, traced it, cut it out, and now I'm just going to do my Mod Podge again, and I'm going to stick that down to my heart. And then once that's down, I'm going to use my same trick again that I love using, which is the parchment paper with my little mini iron. That's also in my Amazon shop as well if you're interested in the iron. It's really cheap. It's not too expensive. And then I just use my little finger sander, and I just sanded off the excess paper off the edges. Next, I decided to take these pearls that you get at the Dollar Tree. They come in like strips, and you just cut them. It's kind of like the whole thing is together, but I cut them in strips. And then what I did is I was going to go along the outside edge, and I was like, no, I want them on the top edge. So that's what I did, and and these you could just manipulate to turn whichever way you want. So they're perfect for stuff like this. They're perfect for like circles or whatever. And I actually used these in my last video on an X and O DIY that I did, and I did them on the O's, and it came out really cute. So I decided to do it on the heart as well. So I'm just kind of like taking them off the little paper, and then I'm just sticking them down on the front part of the heart along the edge. Then I had this lace in my stash. It's kind of like a trim. And what I did is I just took some of my hot glue and I just glued it to the outside edge of the heart. And that just kind of gave it like that little ruffle look on the outside of the heart. And I just thought this turned out so pretty and so dainty too, and so like elegant looking. So I really love the way this one turned out too. And I went along the other side of it, and that was it for that part. Then I'm going to take one of those laser cut hearts that you saw in the beginning, and I'm going to, from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to put that in the middle. I'm going to glue it in the center of my heart. But look how cute that is. It's so pretty. I love it. Oh, so this is the little pail. So I actually didn't end up using this pail, but I don't show it in the video. I ended up using one of the clay pots from the Dollar Tree, the smaller ones, instead, because this is very top heavy, and I knew it wasn't going to stay up. So for video purposes, I just kept that pail, the tin one. But you can use any little pail that you want to use, or pot or whatever. And then what I did is I took all these different laces and ribbons that I had, and I just cut them into strips, and I'm going to put them all together, and then I'm going to put them around the top part of the heart there. I'm sorry, not the top, the bottom part of the heart where the stick is. And I just cut a whole bunch that I liked. And you could use any ribbon you want. This is just what I used for what I was doing. And I'm just going to glue it to the top. I was going to tie it, but it was too bulky. And I'm like, I don't like that. So I just used a little dab of glue, and I just kind of glued them on top of each other so that they wouldn't move first. And then I just took the whole thing and I just glued it to the top of the stick. And then I kind of pressed it really good, and I made sure I secured it on the sides really well in the back there. And then it just kind of hangs down perfectly, and that's what I wanted. So that's why I did that. And I love the way that turned out. And then of course I trimmed them, to make sure they were all even. And then I took some of these paper flowers. They're Paper Studio. They're in where the scrapbook stuff is at, and where the stickers and all that stuff is. You can find these paper flowers at Hobby Lobby, and sometimes they're 40% off Paper Studio. And I just glued one to the front of the ribbon where I glued it down, and a couple of these little leaves that also came in the package as well. And I just thought this gave it a nice little touch. And then, of course, I put it in the little pail, and it wanted to fall over. And then I had to, glue it in, and then finally I got it to stay. But then I was like, I want the clay pot. And I ended up liking the clay pot better. So it's up to you, though. You do you. This is just for inspiration. And here is your close-up. Let me know what you think of that DIY. Now DIY number 3. This one is also really, really pretty. I love it. So I took one of these palettes from from Hobby Lobby that were during Christmas time. They were only like $2.99, and they were 60% off. So I bought a bunch of these, and I really like them. And then I took a bunch of ribbon again, and also that jute twine that you saw. And I'm going to take the antique wax, and I'm going to just dry brush this very lightly on the top of this wood palette. And I'm just doing it very lightly. And then the edges, I went a little bit heavier with the tip of my brush. And that's all I did for that. Then I took the twine, the jute twine from the Dollar Tree, the thick one that you get, and I'm just going to make a heart with it. So at first, I just brought my 2 pieces together to come down in the front for the heart, for in the middle, and then I'm going to glue it down like that. So I kind of just made my shape, and then I just kind of guided it along the edge of the rope, and then stuck it down to the wood. And I did that on both sides. and then I just cut off the excess on the bottom. And then I made sure I glued where you cut it, because this can unravel very easily. See, now you can lift it up. See how easy it is to lift up with the glue? So that's what I liked. And then I glued it back down again because it just wasn't perfect enough for me. I'm a little OCD when it comes to certain stuff. So then I glued it back down, and then I cut it. And then I made sure I glued the ends of the rope really well and stuck it down really good, because you don't want the rope to unravel. So that's why I did that. So I just put a little bit of glue on the edges of them. And there is your heart. Then I took some more of these paper flowers. Can you tell I love the paper flowers? I'm into them when it comes to a lot of different summer, spring stuff. I love them. So then I glued some down in the one portion of the heart here on the one side. And then I did the upper corner on the other side with these as well. And these all come in the packet. So you get all this in one package. And it's Paper Studio. That's what it is. And it is in Hobby Lobby. I see them all the time. They have them because this is where I get them from. So, and I always get them when they're 50% off. I never buy them when they're not. So, because they could be a little bit expensive. And these ones I actually got orange stickered. Sometimes they'll have the orange stickers and you can get them really cheap, and I buy a whole bunch of them. And then I have them for a while. And then I stuck one of the little ones and then on their little flowers that were in the packet, and also some of the greenery that's in there. It's like a green leaf vine or whatever you want to call it. And then I stuck 2 more flowers up here on the other corner. And I also stuck these little tiny leaves that were in another packet that I had. And I stuck those on there as well. And I just cut the wire off of these little roses that were in the packet, and then I just glued them down like that. And this was another one that just turned out so pretty. And these are the little leaves that you get in the other packets, some of the packets that are there. And then I took one of the butterflies that came all together, because these were like 3 different things I had. And I stuck a butterfly on there, a little pink, light pink butterfly, I should say. And it just matched perfectly, and I love it. And then I decided I wanted to do a little messy bow. And so I just took strips of ribbon again, and these are all different kinds of ribbon and lace and everything that I had in my stash again that coordinate with the colors I'm using. And then I just cut a bunch of them out. I cut like 2 of each, I believe, and then after I got them all cut out, I just crisscrossed them and then tied them together with some jute twine and made a messy bow. And super easy bow to make. And I absolutely love the way it turned out. And it just, this stuff is just so pretty, you guys. And I love this because you can, like I said, you can keep it up past Valentine's Day for as long as you want. I mean, till you're ready to take it down. You can even keep this up for spring, though. I mean, because it has spring colors. You know, it's very neutral, so I think it would be so pretty. And I have them up in my house, so. And then I crisscrossed them like you see there, and then I took a piece of the jute twine, and I just tied it in a double knot in the back to tie it all together. And then I just kind of like trimmed with my scissors the ends of them a little bit to make them a little bit shorter, because it was a little bit longer than I wanted. And yeah, and that was it, you guys. This turned out so cute. I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And also, don't forget to check everyone out. These ladies are so talented, and this playlist is so long, and I just love these ladies. They are so inspirational. And I'm just going to glue that to the other corner there and stick that down with some hot glue. And then I'm going to take one of these burlap flowers that I had. Oh, first I wrapped some twine around my fingers a bunch of times, and then you just tie it in a knot like that. And then it makes like this really cute jute twine bow, I guess you could call it. And then I just cut off the excess after I tied it. And then I stuck that down in the center of my messy bow. And I just kind of like pulled the loops out a little bit so you could see them. And look how cute that is. I love these kind of bows. So simple. And I glued that in the center. And then I took this little burlap heart that I found in my stash, and I just stuck that in the center of that. And that was it, you guys. So here's your close-up. I hope you guys like everything. And don't forget to subscribe. And remember, stay crafty. Bye.